All right, we're back with Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, episode 25, and oh, the reason I'm sure some of you are here, yeah, the situation developed with Wendee Lee. Ty, why'd you have to be right? Is it because
Because
it's
I'm me.
oh, so yeah, there was a lot of stupidity and including Wendee Lee apologizing, which never apologize.
Never be Canadian.
Yeah, don't apologize to the mob. Like it's not like, oh man, I'm sorry, I was a little off on that, or I'm sorry, man, I stepped on your foot. No, don't apologize to the mob, especially when she was within every right to say all the stuff she did. So I guess we should get into that, huh? We're about to see some real stupidity, so I hope you all buckle up before we get to Bleach itself.
Oh, they're used to it. It's California after all.
I was about to say, well, I mean, they watch me after all.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that too.
You. Okay. So an example of what I mean with Wendee Lee and why I was like, she didn't really say anything wrong, and they're trying to slander her, labeling her a racist, because of course they are, would be one like Xander Mobus over there being like, I'm so sorry. You are such a good fit. I'm disappointed. And Wendee Lee simply replied saying, you're disappointed, Xander? I see. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of her quoting Goblin Slayer in her replies. So
I
just
see.
yeah, but it's like, good fit, Xander. Did we listen to the same performance?
I mean, it's a perfect fit. Yoruichi's a cat, and they sounded like a dying cat.
Oh, I see. Xander would be like, I don't have any ill will towards you. I just think the whole thing was way more complicated and toxic than it needed to be. And Wendee Lee would reply, recasting is part of the business. It happens. But interesting to see how many of my colleagues were happy to see me off. Again, is she wrong with that?
No.
Going farther, I'm going to go through a few of these. There's a bunch, but I'm just going to cover the ones to prove the point. Faye Mata would say this recasting had nothing to do with your talent in Eris. Can't wait to see what you have next in the future roles. Again, have to disagree. Oh, they're not talented. I'm just saying. Am I wrong in that? But am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one would be Kaylee Mills saying, that's wild. You sounded fantastic as her. Sorry you're going through this. Wendee replied saying, I'm just maintaining the iconic role, Kaylee. Because again, she sees this like, what the hell are you going to think?
Yeah.
And Kaylee would say, regardless of the situation, a studio recasting is wrong, blah, blah, blah. But I would like to point out, you didn't see any of these people so far once go say, I'm sorry to hear you were recasted to Wendee Lee, when Eris was doing a victory lap 2 weeks ago. Was it 3 weeks ago now? Might have been 3.
Yeah. Maybe they should do a victory lap with a windmill.
Quixote?
Exactly.
Alright, just 2 more, and then we can move on. Kellen Goth is the one I saw. I was like, dude, like a lot of these people, like I could say this up front. You can like the voice acting and just not and think the person behind it is shit. So if you still like their talents, like Kellen Goth is a great voice actor, Kaylee great voice actor, but you could still think their takes are shit. I've said it before. How many times have I praised Chris Sabat on here? Guy's a terrible person, but his voice acting's still really solid. Make sense?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Yeah, so Kellen Goth would say, I'm so sorry, for what it's worth, you'll always be my Yoruichi. Simp! Simp! Are you saying that's not a simp alert?
Yeah.
Wishing this to be a blip in the sea of wins for you in the future. Wendee commented saying, I see. That's it. That's all she said. I told you.
Clearly, she's a fan of goblins.
The last one I'll say, which again is typical, I'd see his response, was Jenny Yokobori saying, "I love you, Inaris, and you're a G-damn shining star." And Wendy's like, "Really?" And her response is, "Just reminding my friend of my love for her." Gay? But yeah, again, the common theme, none of them reached out to Wendee Lee. So I hope you all understand at this point, like, I would have had to go over these because I saw everybody, like, Wendee Lee said some most hurtful, unprofessional, disgusting. It's like, nothing she said here was unprofessional or hurtful. She didn't insult these people once. She didn't cuss them out or anything. That's why it's like, when I saw that she apologized, which I'm getting to that next, it's like, why? You had no reason to. But, yeah. Speaking of which, Wendee Lee would apologize, going on saying that she was hurt because it looked like her colleagues were upset that she got her job back and wasn't gone. No, it didn't look like that. That's actually what it was. It's easy enough to see at this point.
Yeah. Hopefully Studio R will go out of business.
Retarded?
The other thing. But yes, that too.
Well, Inaris did an interview with, Quixote, sorry, did an interview with everyone's favorite site, Anime News Network, so I'm sure there will be no biased journalism whatsoever from here. Let's just have a look. "I knew I had to prepare myself for backlash. After all, I am a woman of color." Oh, shut the fuck up. People would have been pissed regardless of who took over. "And I was excited as someone who grew up watching Bleach, and for all the people of color who saw themselves in Yoruichi. I almost didn't announce it because of the negativity. Sorry, I thought it said negativity. Negative attention. But I focused on the love instead. I was upset after the call I got from Studiopolis about the recasting thing, when they told me they'd go back with Wendee Lee. Mostly for all the fans who were excited about the recast." Yeah.
All 0 of them.
Yeah, those weren't fans, those would be activists, but alright. It wasn't my first time being recast, probably won't be the last at this rate, but it definitely was the strangest.
Yeah, it's almost like the studio is retarded and racist.
I am going to get to their statement in a minute. She did go on saying that Wendee Lee reached out and apologized to her publicly, so I guess Wendee was like, let's just bury the hatchet and move on, be professional, blah, blah. And she said, "I haven't responded," because her initial response was unkind to my fellow voice actors. Remember, not clique mentality in the voice acting industry, guys. What are you talking about? "I haven't responded because I don't have any energy or interest to participate in this situation any more than I already have."
Can you not participate in Bleach any longer so we can get a better story?
Yeah. Again, I think the one role I actually do think she did all right, what was Fencer from Goblin Slayer? It was Fencer, right? That's the character's name?
Yeah.
It was Noble Fencer. Noble Fencer. And maybe Rika and JJK, but it's like, that's really all I got. She's, in my opinion, mid-tier AF. Also, we're just going to forget the fact that she went after the Gundam Witch from Mercury casting with Soletta Mercury's cast, because she's like, she's Mercurian. She should be played by someone from the Middle East. That doesn't make any sense. My brain. Whatever, we got to move on because we still have to cover an episode of Bleach. So the last thing I'll leave with is Studiopolis' comment. "We would like to..."
So now on, we will call them Studio R because they're racist and retarded.
Yep. So, "We would like to address the unfortunate circumstances that led to the casting error around the character Yoruichi Shioin," which I completely spelled wrong in my notes, in Bleach 1000 Year Blood War episode 22. "It was always Studiopolis' intent to keep as many of the established cast members as possible from the original Bleach anime."
Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah, there was a misunderstanding that Yoruichi was part of the original cast members who were unavailable to participate in Bleach 1000 Year Blood War. even though you literally got Wendee Lee back as Tatsuki in episode 14, this very same core, but okay, sure. Yeah. An error of our casting coordinator offered Quixote the role. By the time this error came to our attention, it was too late to correct before episode 22 was released. We'd like to apologize, blah, blah. We enjoy working with you. Wendee Lee is Yoruichi for the future, and Quixote is Hiyori. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Now, here's the thing. They're like, by the time this came to our attention, episode 22 was delayed in the dub by a full extra week. So, I don't know. What I think genuinely happened here is they were expecting another Jameson Price situation where Wendee Lee probably would have rolled over and taken this shit, but she didn't. And I think Wendee was able to talk to Viz and probably through some contract stuff to get the role back. Because how often do you see after a character's recast, you see someone fight and get the role back immediately after? There had to have been some sort of contract shit here.
Yeah. I mean, someone with actual passion for their character and voice acting.
Yeah, so...
Unlike most of those people commenting on the situation, clearly.
Well, I'd say the voice actors, and obviously you'd have some retards on Twitter running with it, racist, blah, blah, but no, the majority of people I've seen have actually been really cool about it with the responses, being like, this is retarded. People are breaking down a character to nothing more than their race, etc. Which, yeah, race casting is dumb.
And now that's racist.
Yeah, see, like, that's genuinely racist as fuck. But, yeah. Anyway, so... That's basically it. And I guess what up?
And then that was the other thing you were talking about the other day. This just probably cements your suspicion about who really was behind that Tiger and Bunny line change.
Studiopolis? Oh yeah. So Studiopolis, yeah, Tiger and Bunny. We covered that if you guys are interested. Golden Ryan has a feminist tangent. Like he literally calls himself a male feminist in the dub, and it's really really bad. I heard the Bastard remake has some dub changes, which we will get to that at some point soon. I was waiting for season 2 to come out.
It's like, sure, you can say Netflix. I'm sure they were happy with that, but Studiopolis is definitely the one behind it.
Yeah. And before anyone says anything, no, like if the situation was like, it would not have mattered what Quixote's race was. If she were white and the same situation happened, we would have still bitched about it and brought up the same thing. The fact that Wendee Lee was replaced in such a way is fucked. There's no getting around it. But that is good, I guess, covered for that. Now, you ready to get to the episode of Bleach, Dog? Unless you have anything else to add real quick. All right.
I was just gonna laugh at. We tried to get as many people back as possible, even though we just dubbed Sonic Frontiers. I didn't even attempt to get Roger back.
Yeah, well, Bleach is a non-union dub, and apparently Viz were the ones who were trying their hardest to interfere with some of this. So I don't know. That's a whole different situation, I guess. I don't have enough knowledge on that one. But let's get to Bleach. So. Yeah, the episode opens up with a new character, Yoruichi's little brother, Yushiro, voiced by Zeno Robinson. Oh boy, double casting, miscasting, and race casting all at once. That deserves a reward. And look, check out her Platinum, and Zeno cannot voice younger characters like this. You can tell it's really killing his throat. And it's no exception here.
You just... If you're gonna do that, just use AJ instead.
Hey, stop! I mean Beckles, yes. Anyway, he's looking for his sister as the visors arrive, and Urahara's doing something in the sand. She's drawing something, man. With Hiyori talking to Urahara, asking why'd he let Ichigo and company go on ahead? Urahara says the situation has changed. She replies saying, it better not die because you sent them on ahead early or whatever. And that's when he says it's all for the Seirete. As Hiyori responds saying, I've always hated when you say that. Urahara does say that a lot, doesn't he? I think he said that a few times in the Pendulum arc.
Yeah.
But after the OP, we're at the Squad Zero fighting Yuhan Company, or what's left of it at this point. So Yuha versus Ichibei, as Nimaya's wanting to settle things with killing Yuha's successor, asking which one that is. Remember, they don't know it's Uryu, so it could be Hashwell to them. As
Both at the same time.
Yeah. Doesn't Ichibei use a giant hand here to send Yuha flying?
Yeah.
And he's like, now you
After
have
essentially drawing a line in the sand, saying, I won't need more than this to beat you.
Yep. And like, I see, you did lose your voice. And Yuha's like, I shall give myself a voice. And he shoots himself with an arrow here to stop his fall, or something like that. As Ichibei, Ichibei's impressed, saying, I have no choice but to kiss you. I mean, kill you. Yes.
And stop saying my full name, it's weird.
Sorry about that. I'm voiced by Richard Epcar. I must say everyone's full name. Cassandra Cage, Ichigo Kurosaki, etc.
That is an awfully weird typecasting.
And yeah, we do see Ichibei's weapon, which is a paintbrush. It's not weird. And Yuha draws his sword too. That's coming up in a bit though. As we cut back to
Paintbrush is clashing with swords. It's not weird.
Well, Nimaya is ready to fight, as Hashwald says, you're fortunate not having to fight His Majesty, as he uses his power to start breaking the tree womb thing. Yeah, I don't think we addressed that last time. It's called the womb.
Or as the commercial break calls it, a womb.
Well, Kiryu runs to the top saying, I don't know what power you're using, but I'm gonna repair this tree. That's when Tenjiro steps in throwing his spring water at Uryu and Hashwald. Uryu avoids it and begins his fight against Senjumaru. And we can see here he's using his Blood Fiend attack. Also, all of this stuff here I should mention is anime only, because we've completely diverged from the manga at this point. And I think it's fucking great to do it this way. Squad Zero and Uryu and Hashwald getting extra shit is really cool, so props anime. As Tenjiro activates his Shikai against Hashwald, and actually, what the hell is his weapon die?
It's just his paddle has a blade on the end of it now.
Well...
That's it.
Yeah, and Hashwald's got a shield now. As Askin wakes up, saying, hey, Nimai, you don't have to worry about missing a fight. I'm right here. I'm not dead yet. I was actually worried they were going to cut this fight because, yeah, this fight happens immediately after Nimaya takes out the other Royal Guard, or Schutzstaffel, whatever you want to call them. As he reveals his letter is D, the death dealing. Sounds really edgy as hell. And basically, he can analyze a substance that is harmful to the body and give you a lethal dose of that. Basically, give you too much blood for blood poisoning. Is the TLDR of it. Because if you have too much blood, you'll die! Did you know that, die?
If you have too much blood, you'll bleed to death.
Yeah, and actually, how does this power even work here visually? Because it gives Nimaya a shit ton of it. And he keeps licking his lips, too.
Drinking his own blood?
Yeah, so I guess it transfers it over to Nimaya when he does that.
He consumes it and puts it inside of you, is what it's looking like?
Yeah, okay. And hey, I guess Damon is okay. It's sounding like a menacing Nazi, so, who's that? Well, back to Uryu. His arrows are getting blocked by Senjumaru's umbrella. As she calls his Reishi, that to the falling rain. His arrows are breaking apart and stuff.
And then she makes his arrows attack him.
Yep. Because they're turned into thread now. Poor Uryu. Yeah, Uryu actually gets fucked up here and loses. She does a critical blow to him. Cut back to Hashwald, and his shield is destroyed. As Tenjiro, too, defeats him by dealing him a fatal blow. Holy shit, man. Squad Zero, you fuck around with him. Cut back to Askin as he gloats over an injured Nimaya. who begins shanking himself to draw out the poisonous blood. Askin calls him foolish, saying, well, you'll bleed out eventually anyways. He goes over math about, the amount of milliliters it would take to kill someone with a lethal dose, etc. But, yeah. That's when Tanjiro shows up, using his spring water to save Nimaya at the last moment, giving him back the lost blood. What, are you going to say something?
No.
Oh. As Nimaya's like, is that cool or what? Asuka just replies, oh yes, extremely cool for you, but for me, maybe not so much.
That's his animality. You're welcome.
Damn it. Asuka's then quickly dispatched. As we cut back to Uryu, and this is when he gets struck by all the threads. And, yeah. Kiryu then says, you're the last one, Ichibei. Well, she calls him Osho, the nickname they've been calling him. As cut back to Yuha, and he says, Ichibei's face is frighteningly cheerful at the thought of killing him. That's when he blocks the brush with his arms. As Ichibei explains, his brush doesn't sever flesh, it severs names. As the name of his arms has been cut in half to just a pair of arm. It sounds really silly when he says it like that, doesn't it?
It's worded really silly.
Yeah, it's worded like that in every version, so. But basically, he cut his power in half. That's the TLDR. That's what you need to know. He then hits Yuha again, saying he erased his last name, so he's no longer Yuha Baha. He's just Yuha, and his power is literally it's been severed.
So he's literally just the name the fandom refer to him as.
Yep. As he then says, how does it feel to be half the man you are? A ma, if you will. Okay, he didn't say that last part. I was just a reference to GTA 3. But yeah, he does say...
Rockstar actually made games.
He said, how does it feel to be made half the Quincy you were by the leader of the Soul Reapers that you loathe so much? This is gotta be cold as fuck, man. Cut to Giselle, who's still alive, as he's eating Bambi to heal himself. Bambi begs him, saying, Bambi don't want to die. But Giselle smashes her head into the ground, shouting, you're already dead.
You're already Wait a minute.
This is when Giselle starts saying how cute Bambi is when she's dead, as he loves her like this. And I think he's getting off on bathing in her blood. Damn it, Giselle, you are such a fucking freak.
This is the representation they wanted.
Damn it, Twitter, you are all fucking freaks. Well, Lil Toto arrives, explaining that she had to eat Pepe, and he tasted like shit.
Definitely not housebroken.
Ew, you think Pepe did that in the Ew! It's not an image I needed.
Now it is.
She also said she had to knock out Meninas to stop her from attacking her. So Meninas is still alive, for now. They wonder what if Yuha will ever come back. This is the one change from the manga here, as Robert was also in this scene, complaining, saying, His Majesty abandoned us! We're all screwed, man! We're screwed! Etc. But he's not here in this adaptation. Speaking of, Ichibei says, use all of eternity to repent for what you've done. You have all the time in the world. As we then see Yuha doing a chant, Ashvalan. And this scene is actually really fucking cool. Richard Epcar nails it here, coming across as menacing and really fucking awesome. And I'm still wondering, when is this music going to be added to Spotify?
You can get the Trop version.
Damn you. Well, all of the Quincy's on the ground level have their souls sucked. Woof. The Soldats, or all the guards, are now nothing but clothing and bones. Probably mirroring the rapture, with the whole biblical symbolism and the bells and shit.
You don't say.
Yeah, Lil Toto and Giselle try running from the light, but it still hits them, and we see their wings disappearing. Meninas is carrying an injured Candace, but even they get caught in it. We also see Basby, and I love the scene with Basby where we're just like, what's happening? Acting concerned. See, they're starting to form a dialogue. I think they could have become friends, man. What?
Yeah. Does that mean he's related to Ichigo too?
That was one of the best scenes in the filler, man, when they kept calling him Ichigo's brother. But yeah. Cut to Mayuri and more anime-only scenes with him because it's Mayuri and they love him, saying it's not the reishi. Yeah, it's not the reishi being sucked, but it's more of the living power of their souls, which is why, remember, reishi couldn't impact the womb. This is about to. That's why it's technically not reishi. If anyone was wondering if that was explained or not, it is. But yeah. So Lil Toto asks, what the hell, your majesty? Is this all we are to you? What are we? Yuha replies, my comrades. As Basby shouting, is this your way of doing things? What the hell, man?
What gives?
What gives? Oh, no, they cry. Giselle, well, we're making all the references today. Giselle's like, I won't die and leave you alone, Bambi. And Lil Toto and Basby declare that they won't die at the same time either.
I want to live.
I want to live. Shunsui then asks his two lieutenants if he may leave his post, saying that the royal palace is in danger right now, not the Seirete. As Uryu, Haschwald, and all of the royal guards are revived. I guess Gerard got tired of trying to complete death, so now he wants to be a completionist for the game of life instead.
Oh my god.
Oh, speaking of which, yeah, Gerard, his voice actor was revealed. So
the Gerard conspiracy.
Yep.
No bird repeat.
So Gerard is voiced by Dave B. Mitchell, who's the current voice of Knuckles for all the Sonic stuff, like Sonic Frontiers. You're not gonna make an Idris Elba joke, die?
No, because you just did.
And Geras from MK11 before NetherRealm decided to pull Studiopolis and go race casting with MK1, or M1K.
Or as anyone who played AC6 would know him as Honest Brute.
Did you say his mech's name was in that? You told me before we started.
Milktooth.
That's such a silly name. But yeah, we also see that they are in their Volstendish forms here. So we see their wings. Including Pernita, who has hands for wings. That's going to be important probably in Core 3. So, you over that, I guess.
Eventually, when they're double casting someone else.
We don't even know who it is. He hasn't spoken yet. So, he'll probably be the last cast member we will have to go over if he talks next week. But yeah, Ichibei calls this ruthless, as Yuha says that's what comrades are for. Numaya asks, what the hell is going on? And this is when Haschwald reveals Ashvalen. It collects the powers of unessential Quincy's and gives it to those who are better qualified. Those who have lost their powers or have it taken from them die, while those who receive them are revived and even stronger than before. As the scales have been tipped and Squad Zero will be purged. I more or less quoted him word for word, by the way. He does say the purge line, going more with the whole Nazi motif. And that's where the episode ends. And I'm sad. Except it's not, because there's a post-credit scene. I don't have to be sad quite yet. With Shunsui and Ukitake talking. And this is easily Alex's best attempt at trying to match Liam O'Brien as Ukitake, in my opinion. What?
Yeah. Clearly,
so.
Time to get into the role.
Mm-hmm. So, they agree that Squad Zero, well, they say they allowed the palace to be invaded, probably referring to Squad Zero. As Ukitake says, the Kami Kake was in preparation for that. Shunsui said, so it was a success. Maybe Ukitake could push himself a little more now. And that's when Shunsui walks off, saying he's off for a drink. Or
he's off to defeat the Spanish Armada.
And as Senjumaru does the preview for the final episode. And yeah, really good fucking episode again. I think that a lot of the changes here really worked in giving Squad Zero more shit to do. Because in the manga version, if y'all are wondering, Yuha breaks the womb with Ashvalin while he's still inside of it. So it doesn't get... Squad Zero do not get their fight against Uryu or Hashwad. And that's how it should be done, you know? Add shit, change shit for the better, etc.
If you're gonna change shit, add shit. Mm-hmm. If not, then just stick to the original.
Yeah. And sometimes, I mean, we brought up how sometimes when they add shit, it doesn't go so well with the Fullbring arc as an example of that. But I think here it worked very well. So, and yes, we suspected this. This was a two-parter, but again, they split it in half with the dub, which we figured they would. Probably worked out though, because of all the shit we had to cover with the Wendee Lee thing.
Fine. I'll rephrase it. If you're gonna add shit, understand the source material first.
There you go. But yeah, this might be one of my favorite episodes of this core. To be honest, I thought it was great. I really enjoyed this one. MVP. Don't know. Maybe I could give it to Richard Epcar again. He was great as Yuha. Aaron LaPonte was good as Ichibei too. So. And, yeah. Anything else to add, Di? I mean, everyone says the animation for this episode was really fucking good. I'm guessing you're going to agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, it better be. Especially when you're going to have to wait a year for the next core.
Hey, we're not quite done yet. We got one ep left, so I hope you all will join us for the final episode. Bleach 1000-Year Blood War Core 2, episode 26. And let us know what you thought. The episode and the Wendee Lee stuff. Hope you all enjoyed. And... we'll be back next time. Till then, have a good day, guys.